Grand Rising Cosmic Family. So, no cap, I was literally on my way about to, what I'm saying, go to the astral planes, get in my resting state, and just prepare myself to, rise up the next rising. But something had occurred to me. Like, my mama low-key be downplaying my growth and my elevation, saying she don't see a difference and stuff like that. But in the same breath, this not to talk about her, it's just to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, she would call the things that I chose to work on, which took a lot of effort, time, investment, and work, God's gift or a blessing. Like, you saying that you don't see the growth and you don't see the elevation and everything is just a downgrade. You feel me? It's like, how? But in the same breath, you gonna call the things that I've actually elevated myself on and took the time to actually perfect and work on so I can be a better version of myself. God's gift. You gonna call that God's gift. It's a blessing that I'm like this. It's God's gift that I'm like this. No, it's my gift. You feel me? Like, I put in the work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like our conversations and stuff, like I'm very receptive to whatever we talk about. Like, even if I don't agree with it in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? If I see a point where she's right and it makes sense, I let her know that. You feel me? Like, my mom will sit down and have like 2 hour conversations with me sometimes, depending on what the topic is. And I would just sit there, calm, peace of mind, actually listening to her, not just hearing her, but listening to her, allowing her that time. Anybody else, I'll just walk off because you ain't finna waste my time like that. You feel me? If I feel like it ain't going nowhere. But I know my mom mean well, and for two, you know what I'm saying? I'm in her house, so I'm smart with how I move. You know what I'm saying? So she wanna talk and sit there for 2 hours. Screw it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just sit there and we'll see what we gonna get out the conversation. Anybody else, I'll walk off. But her, no. Let's see. But you know what I'm saying? But like, it don't bother me. But it's just interesting. Like, she will say like, I'm downgrading or like my new belief system is downgrading me as a person, and she just sees me going backwards and all this stuff. Like, yes, I am finding balance in certain areas, but it's like you saying that I'm moving backwards. You feel me? In my in the way I do certain things, in the way I do things, but in the same breath, like you should say she don't see the elevation, but in the same exact breath, calls the thing I chose to work on, spent time working on, which is my listening skills, my receptiveness to messages and to words, you feel me? And conversations and overall messages of conversations. And enhancing my listening, you know what I'm saying? So I can actually truly receive the message because I used to buck back. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't say that it's no elevation there. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't see majority of the elevation, it's there. And the receptiveness that you're so proud of me for having, because we don't be having argumentative clashing conversations, is because I worked on that part of myself. That's not God's gift, and it's not God's blessing. That's my elevation because it's something I chose to work on. Because it wasn't always like that. It was a lot of times where, look, I was very debative and argumentative, and did not listen at all. I just heard you. And I was very defensive, which I worked on, you feel me? Like, I was very defensive as a person, and if something was said to me, I'm not even listening to you for real in a conversation. I'm already in my mind thinking of the next thing to say. You know what I'm saying? Combating what you're saying. That's how I used to operate. In a very combative and somewhat toxic way. You feel me? And it was very unproductive conversation wise. And my mom, you know what I'm saying? She act like she don't remember that. Like, oh, it was just God. You just always been like this. And it's just God's blessing to you that you are this receptive. No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't try to downplay my elevation. Like, first of all, I don't even care because my elevation is for me. You may not see it, but I do, and that's all that matters. However, do not try to downplay my elevation and my bettering, you know what I'm saying, of my character and of me and as me as a person, and then try to discredit my growth, you feel me, and my elevation by calling it God's blessing and gift. While you saying you don't see the elevation, but you appreciate the receptiveness that I have now to conversations and the openness I have to conversations, the open-mindedness I have to conversations, how I listen more now when I have conversations, depending on who it is, you feel me? But you want to call that God's blessing and say that you don't see an elevation. That's not God's blessing. That was pure work, investment, and dedication. Because I saw a part of myself I knew I could work on. And it took a long time. And I tried different methods. And I fixed it. You know what I'm saying? I enhanced that part of myself. But that's all I wanted to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's low-key just like, yeah. Like, you could not see the elevation. That's cool. Because that ain't for you to see, for real. It's for me. It's for you to see the results. You feel me? But, like, don't say you don't see my elevation. You know what I'm saying? And downplay my elevation. But at the same time, give my personal elevation, you know what I'm saying, and my forms of having conversation credit to being a gift from God or God's blessing, because that was pure hard work. And ironically, that was part of my elevation. So y'all have a peaceful, positive, and productive dark hour. Peace and no negative energy. Just truth.